Wagwan farms, welcome back to Vibe with Chelsea. So today I'll be doing bob braid on a natural hair, and I've added some detailed information for you guys on how to feed in when you're doing knotless braid and how to do feeding when you're doing cornrows or braids. So if you want to see the end result, please watch the entire video. And if you're new to my channel and you're liking my content so far, please do hit the subscribe button and turn your post notification bell on to be notified every time I post a video. And if you're already a part of the fam club, please keep the love coming. I really love and appreciate you guys.
Check, check, check. You know, from here to check, you know, is a voice upgrade, right? So, getting straight to it, today we'll be doing bob braid on a natural hair. As you can see, the wax that I've just shown is a wax called Soft Touch, and I'll be using 2 packs of expression braid. To get started, at the back, we're doing box braids, knotless, and at the front of her hair we'll be doing some invisible braids or cornrows. You know, each time that I do a style I have to do a little, you know, put a little buzz in it, so it's not gonna be bob braids all the way through. Basically we're gonna have some invisible cornrows at the front. Now if you want to get all those details, stick with me in this video. For now I'm just getting some of the box braids out of the way. So I'm just getting the first set of box braids out of the way, but I know that in fact a lot of you guys having a little bit of challenge doing a knotless or feeding in the braid. So let me get right to that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring it a little bit closer and I'm going to slow it down a little bit. So basically, to do the knotless, what you do is you do 1 plait in the client's hair and then you feed in the braid that you're using. In this case I'm using expression braids. I'm also doing small amounts each time because the client hair is natural and thick, so instead of just adding a lot of hair at once, I do small amounts and continuously add hair until I get the thickness that the client required. And then for her we're doing neck length, so we braid until we reach that length. Who is this? Okay then. Alright. Anyway, you know me always a look out for the guys in the back of the class. So again, you start by doing 1 plait in the client's hair, then you feed in the braid that you're using. And then as you do another plait, you feed in more braid, doing small amounts each time. And then again you plait and feed in more braid. And when you reach to a thickness that you realize that, hey, this is what the client agreed to, then you can start plaiting out. Now we got rid of the box braid section. Now we're gonna get to the front of the hair where the buzz comes in. This is where we're doing the invisible braid, and as you know, we part, then apply a little bit of wax, then refine the part because you want the part to be as neat as possible. Get that part of the hair out of the way. This is now where we're putting in a little bit of design. There's really nothing to teach here, it's just a matter of these are the parts that I'm doing. This is the style that the client required. So whichever part that you decide to do, that all you need to do is just make sure that the part is neat and refined. Apply a little bit of wax to the root of the client's hair. That helps to hold the braid in longer. Now I'm separating a small amount of braided here to get started, and I'm going in to do the invisible braid. As you can see, I'm just cornrowing the small amount of hair, and then I'm adding more small amounts of hair, because that's how you get the invisible braid look. You keep adding small amounts, and then as you go further away from the beginning of the cornrow, you can add more hair than what you were adding before. So what you would realize here, at the beginning of the cornrow, it looks as if it's only the client's natural hair, and then as we go along, you can see that it's getting thicker, and then when it reaches the desired thickness, I pause on adding hair and just cornrow to the back. In case you're wondering, basically what I do with each cornrow or bob braid, at the end of the hair I add an elastic band to hold the end of the hair, because this is not plaited out with ends, it's just stopped abruptly, so you need the elastic band to hold it, and then I use flame to burn the end of the hair to keep it together, because as you know, the hair will melt, and once it's heated, I just use my finger and squeeze it together so it doesn't pull out. So once again, another invisible braid. You're just adding small amounts of braided hair and just cornrowing to the back. We add hair as desired so it reaches the desired thickness and matches the length of the rest of the hair. As we go over to the next side of the client's hair, keep in mind we don't want the hair to be in front of her eyes or in her face for her to be moving it every minute. So what I did the part so that it goes around to her right eye. That way the hair is not, unbugging her. And basically I'm just doing more invisible braid here. And again, you can always use the pattern that you like. This is the pattern that the client required. Now you'd notice that the hair at the front will be longer than the ones at the back. That's the style. Okay, so now that we have completed the invisible braid section as well as the bob braids, we're moving on to one of my favorite part of the whole process of doing the hair. You know that I pride myself in making sure that the hair looks neat, the client is pleased, and the style lasts long. So what I'm doing is just clipping as much loose hair as I can. Based on the size of this, I can do it one by one. You guys want to watch me do it one by one, or should I cut it out? Alright, I'm just kidding. So I'll cut out a part of it, but basically I am trimming each of these strands one by one, getting rid of any amount of loose hair. Next, we're going to move to hot watering. This style, the hair does not need to be straight, so we cannot throw the hot water on the hair. We're just using a damped heated towel to apply a little bit of hot or heat steam to the hair so it gets rid of some of the loose hair as well. We'd want the hair to have a curve, so we cannot throw the hot water on the hair because it will be too straight. So this is how I apply the hot water. As you know, I'm not a fan of mousse. Now I'm using a little bit of Fashion Plus wax to just, neat up the edges, because she doesn't really want much of any edges, and that works well for me. Then a little bit of Eco Gel to make sure that it doesn't look white when it's dry. And here's the finished product. I hope you love it.